All right, y'all. Sunday's over. It's now some Monday Night Football. Prime time. Hard day of work. Get to kick back. Watch some foosball. So, we're going to be bringing you a score prediction for our doubleheader of Packers and Giants, and then the Dolphins and the Cowboys. And then we're also going to give you one prop each from the game. But right now it's Tuesday. There's only one prop up, and that's the Saquon Barkley prop. And that's the one prop we're going to talk about with this game. And it's Saquon Barkley over under 72.5 rushing yards. I have Saquon Barkley over 72.5 rushing yards. Packers are 30th against the run, so only two teams allow more rushing yards than they do per game. Also, they allow 136 yards per game, and in the last three games, they've allowed 156 yards per game. Saquon's line is set at 72.5. That's 64 less than what the Packers have been giving up all season, and that's 80 less than what the Packers have given up the last three games. I think Saquon Barkley goes over this line. Now, Seb's going to give his take on this line and what he thinks.
All right, my Saquon prop. So, yeah, obviously we have the same prop on this because there's just not anything out for this game. But Saquon Barkley over 72.5 rush yards. The Packers allow 136.3 rush yards per game to opposing teams. Last week, Pacheco had 110 on them. And week before, even though the Lions were struggling, David Montgomery still had 71 yards on him.
And he splits carries with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Exactly. Jahmyr Gibbs had 54 yards, but because how the game was and they split carries. The Giants really have no pass game. And the Packers' secondary is very well respected. Saquon has only gone under this line twice in his last 5 games, and it was against the Cowboys and the Patriots, two teams that are very good against the rush. Packers are ranked 23rd versus the rush, and again, I think the run game for the Giants is the way to go, and it's their only way of offense. They will live through Saquon in this game. I think he has at least 80, maybe he breaks 100. Who knows? Giants are in a really awkward situation here. They're in a must-win for playoff hopes, but also they don't have a quarterback for next year that they feel comfortable with. They might tank for one. Who knows? There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of this draft this upcoming year. If I was the Giants, I would just say, let's see what happens. Let's try to win the game. If we don't, who cares? But there's a lot of good quarterbacks, and I think they should go for a quarterback in the draft. Again, awkward situation. They have 4 wins, so it's like you still have hope for playoffs because there's a lot of teams that are not good this year.
In the NFC, too.
Yeah, so it's like, they can still make the playoffs, but what good does that do for your franchise when your starting quarterback, who you paid a ton of money to, is out for the season, and he's not good.
So, that brings us to our score prediction. We both agree on over for Saquon's rushing prop at 72.5 yards. And I got this game being pretty close because I think the Giants play hard-nosed football, and the Packers just love to keep games close for some reason. I don't know why, but every single one of their games are close and tight with the final score. But I got the Packers winning 21-17. The spread is 6.5 here, so I got the Giants beating the spread. Both teams are on the upswing right now. Packers are winners of 4 out of 5, and the Giants are actually on a winning streak, believe it or not. They've won back-to-back games. Pretty hard to believe with how they started the season. The Packers haven't lost a game in December since Mike McCarthy in 2019. So Matt LaFleur is undefeated in all of his years of being a Packers coach, while in December. So Matt LaFleur is yet to lose a game in December. So I don't think that starts with the Giants. I don't think they beat a coach that has never lost in December. Also, the Giants' 4 wins are against the Cardinals, Commanders, and Patriots. All of those teams have under 4 wins. Packers will definitely be a stronger test than any of those teams I just named. I got the Packers winning 21-17 and keeping their playoff hopes alive.
Where do you find these stats about Matt LaFleur hasn't lost a game in December? Like, where do you find this stuff at? Seriously.
Well, I got my sources.
Jesus.
Look it up. It's true.
Jesus.
Packers have not lost a game in December since 2019.
Well, I also have the Packers winning this game 23-13, a lower scoring game. Packers are currently one of the hottest teams in the league right now, surprisingly. We thought they were in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, but I can't get past that. I said all these teams are in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, and my team is actually in it. So, whatever, man. This is whack. With that being said, Aaron Jones is rumored to come back in this game. I don't know if that means anything, but the Giants have the 24th rush defense and the 29th defense versus the pass. Jordan Love was able to ball out versus the Lions and the Chiefs in back-to-back weeks. Two good defenses, you know. Also, Packers are now very much in the playoff picture. In Love's last 6 games, he hasn't thrown under 228 pass yards, with throwing between 1 to 3 touchdowns a game.
And in his last 4 games, he hasn't gone over 285.
Yep. Giants giving up 228.3 pass yards to opponents per game, and allow 136.08 rush yards to opponents. The Giants season was over a while ago, and the Packers season is just starting. So, you know what? Packers win this game, and we'll see what happens with that.
So, Green Bay keeps it rolling. Mount First stays undefeated in December. Last year, they did lose to the Lions, but that was in January. So, don't try to fact check me on it. Don't try to fact check me on it, because it is true. All right, so brings us to our Titans and Dolphins game. My prop is Tyreek Hill over 103 receiving yards. The Titans give up 175.9 receiving yards, so pretty much 176 yards per game to the wide receiver position. They also give up 240 passing yards per game on the road, which is 35 more than they do at home. So they give up 35 more yards per game on the road than they do at home through the air. Tyreek has gone over 100 yards in 3 out of the last 5 games. I would say 103, but he had 102 against the Jets and Sauce Gardner. Also, he's playing against the Titans defense that just gave up 300 yards to Gardner Minshew. So I think Tyreek Hill goes over 103 receiving yards. He's a beast. He can get you 70 yards in one play. I think he gets it done against this weak Titan secondary. Hit the over on Tyreek Hill's receiving yards prop.
All right, my prop, DeAndre Hopkins, over 58.5 receiving yards. Now, there wasn't much to choose from, but I don't feel so good about this one. So if you want to skip out on this one, go for it. But I'm going to give you a claim of why I think it will hit. His last 4 out of 6 games, he has gone over this line, and last week putting up 75 in an overtime loss to the Colts. Him and Levis seemed frustrated with each other after a late play. That might come back and either hurt him or benefit him. I think he comes back and shines for his team, though. I really do think that Hopkins is going to be a big target in this game. Miami is ranked 19th versus the pass. This is why I think this is a really good prop that might hit. Devontae Adams also had 82 yards on this Dolphins defense in Miami. And this game is in Miami. With Aiden O'Connell throwing him the ball. Now I don't know who you will put. Will Levis or Aiden O'Connell throwing him. You know, Aiden O'Connell was able to give Devontae Adams 82 yards. Will Levis, you know, maybe could give DeAndre Hopkins 60, right? I don't know who you will put over each other, Will or Aiden.
I said, Will Levis.
So
definitely better than Aiden O'Connell.
I think D-Hop is very capable of getting over 58, even over 60, that the Titans have to rely on the pass. And in a must-win game, you know, it looks good. It looks like sweet candy. And it looks like, you know, something that you just want to be like, oh, yeah, you know. But at the same time, it is risky. I will admit this. It is risky, but you know what? Every prop is risky that I take. So I like it, though. I like DeAndre Hopkins going over 60 at least.
Over or under? 50% over, 50% under.
Unless he pulls a Christian Kirk last night.
And gets hurt, but then you get your money back with a reboot.
Yeah, have that reboot in Andy.
You need to do that. All right, so that brings us to our score prediction. Titans versus the Dolphins, and I got the Dolphins winning 41-17. All right? The Dolphins are 5-0 at home this year, and the Titans are 0-6 on the road. This game's in Miami. the Titans are not going to break that streak of finally winning on the road, and the Dolphins aren't going to lose that streak of winning at home. So the Dolphins are a very pass-friendly team, and like I said, the Titans gave up 300 yards to Gardner Minshew last week in a grueling 31-28 loss in overtime. DeAndre Hopkins going up against Howard and Ramsey. I don't think that's the greatest matchup, but he definitely can get over 48.5 receiving yards, like 58.5 receiving yards, like Seb said, because they're going to be losing all game, like I said, 41-17. And also Henry's banged up. He was in concussion protocol on Sunday. He's not anymore. So they may not be using him all with 32 carries like he usually does. And Miami has beaten 8 teams this year that are 500 or worse. So I think this is just picture perfect for Miami to blow them out. And I think the better game of the week is going to be Packers and Giants, because this one's going to be a huge blowout.
Well, I have it closer than 41-17, but I got the Dolphins winning 31-21.
Okay.
Okay, even though I think the Titans are in a must-win game, I just think Miami's too strong offensively for them to keep up for too long. Miami also beats bad teams and loses to good teams. The Titans are ranked 27th versus the pass, and with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, this spills nightmare all over. Miami is also ranked 6th versus the rush, but they are 19th versus the pass, as I mentioned earlier. That is a little sketchy for me. Where I think Tennessee will be able to stay in the game, and why I have the score how it is. Pass game for Tennessee is going to be their best friend in this game. The Dolphins average 30.8 points a game, and with the Titans only allow 20.4 points a game, they only score 16.8 per game. Okay, unfortunately, Tennessee lose this one, make the playoff hopes are very slim. But I think EJ's scoreline kind of blows me away. It is really possible. The Dolphins do blow out bad teams, but Titans are like mediocre.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're better
They're
than
not
their record.
too bad. They've lost a lot of close games, and they get really hurt on the defensive end of the ball, which against the Dolphins, you don't want to have that happen because they have weapons.
I just don't think they're too good at home. And last time they came to Florida, the Bucs blew them out. So
yeah, the Titans. You see, whenever you come to Florida, it's hard to stay away from the clubs and the bars, and
they're going to Miami.
Oh yeah, they're. That's why the Dolphins win a lot of their games at home. Their opponents love going out, and it's a good place to go out. If you haven't seen the TV show Live Ballers, you know what I'm talking about.
They got all the hot mamas out there hollering at you. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins players give them some money. Like, hey baby, you ain't gonna play with me this weekend. Go look at these guys.
You got a wrong mindset, man. All right, put our 3-man together. Yes, 3-man. And pick whatever you like out of it, or just go with it. Roll tide. But anyways, that is going to cap our week. We'll see you guys next week for week 15 and another week closer to the playoffs.
I'd like to see who played for the Chicago Bulls. That was a maniac.
Dennis
Rodman. I'd like to see his record against the Miami Heat and how he did.
We'll search that up after this. Peace.